Jimmy. So good afternoon, everybody. This is Tuesday Sigmund. I'm the Director of Counseling and Disability Services here at Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute. Today's What's Next series, we're going to be talking about what's love got to do with it, or loving your job based on your personality, your interests, values, and skills. In the counseling department, we have career counselors who can help with career assessments and finding out what your personality type is and also how that relates to job satisfactions. We're going to dive into personality just a little bit today to learn a little bit about the background of personality in theory. So on your screen, you can see here a picture of Mother Teresa and a picture of Adolf Hitler. These are very familiar people in history, and there's a few quotes that either Mother Teresa or Adolf Hitler said at one point or another. Yes, I'm sorry.
We can't see the current slide. Did you change slides?
I'm sorry?
I just see the title slide.
Okay, I have skipped. So you do not see that?
It might be me, Sarah. Please let me know. I might have to refresh. I only see the title slide.
I don't know why. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to press refresh. It might be me. There you go. I see now what is personality.
Yeah, but I wonder whenever I present, are you seeing that?
Yep, I see that.
Can you see it when I flip to another slide?
You can see that. Do you have the slideshow in play?
You're in presenter mode, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Does that not work in presenter mode?
We see,
okay.
like all the slides 1 through 7 is showing. We don't see your actual full page present. I think, let me see. If you do to share entire screen instead of just share, I don't know, that might be it.
I'm sorry for the trouble.
It's all right.
So I'm sharing the application. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So share entire screen.
Mm-hmm.
It does not allow me. Okay, there. Okay. Okay, so if I advance now, is that working?
Perfect.
Okay.
Working perfectly. Sorry.
Can
yeah, we can see that.
Stop? Can we stop the recording and restart?
Philip can edit out the beginning part.
Okay. All right. So Leslie, I'm sorry. You'll have to. I'm going to restart so that we can get the whole thing and be able to post it online. So I'm Tuesday Sigmund, Director of Counseling and Disability Services at Caldwell Community College. Today's What's Next series, we're going to be talking about job satisfaction, what's love got to do with it, loving your job based on personality, interest, values, and skills. So here you can see a picture of Mother Teresa and Adolf Hitler, and we wonder, is there anything in common with these two individuals? There's a few quotes from each of them in the middle of the screen. If we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten we belong to each other, notably Mother Teresa. Let's all meet each other with a smile, for a smile is the beginning of love. Again, Mother Teresa. Humanitarianism is the expression of stupidity and cowardice, Adolf Hitler. And make the lie big. Make it simple, keep saying it, and eventually they'll believe it. Of course, that was Adolf Hitler. So why in the world would I put two what seems like opposing individuals on the same screen and ask you, do you see anything in common with these two individuals? And the reason for that is because it is believed that both Mother Teresa and Adolf Hitler shared the same personality type. It's hard to imagine that people who seem so opposingly different would actually have the same type of personality. So let's dive into that. What is personality? Personality is really just a set of emotional qualities, ways that we behave that make a person different from other people. That's the Webster Dictionary version. The APA, or American Psychological Association, says that individual differences in characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving, again, very similar. And Isabel Myers, who actually is the person who created the Myers-Briggs type indicator, which tells us a little bit more about our personalities, says that it's really a combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. So who they are internally and then how they express that externally. So again, going back to Mother Teresa and Adolf Hitler, you would probably think that they do not share, the same patterns of thinking or feeling or behavior. But in essence, there were things that they both did that were similar. They both were soft-spoken at heart. They both had strong opinions in what they believed, and they fought for what they believed in. And so there were core characteristics that they shared, of course, with different direction and purpose. So I do have to step back a little bit further and talk about a little bit about theory. And I know that's not that interesting, but I think it's important for people to realize how we got to where we are in relation to personality and the bigger picture. So if you're not familiar with Carl Jung, he was a psychologist that developed some theory of personality type. He said that we're bigger than what you see. We're all really tapping into a universal well of symbols and meanings and connectedness that really anchors us and motivates us. Part of that's unconscious, that we just do it without thinking about it. And that's on a personal and a universal level. He really believed in this personal unconsciousness, that we had a guiding compass, so to speak, that guided how we interacted with other people and the decisions that we made. So Isabella Myers really took it a step further. So based on Jung's theory personality, they developed the Myers-Briggs type indicator. And again, I mentioned that earlier, but that is an assessment that assesses your personality type. There's no good or bad personality types. In general, there's 16 different types, and it's made up of a lot of different combinations of a few different things we're going to talk about. But based on the observations, Jung really concluded that there were differences in behavior, really with these inborn tendencies, and then again the nature, or how we are just made, and then nurture. You may have heard that before, of how we were kind of brought up or what we believed in. And that we also had like predictable patterns of behavior. And so Isabel Myers really took all of that information and created this assessment, which is called the Myers-Briggs type indicator now. Carl Jung really focused on two different areas, attitude and our functions. So again, the attitude was really our general focus of external on things or people, or internally on ideas or theories, so that we all have a general focus. We either are more externally focused or more internally focused. Again, we do all of these things, but we do have a nature to go towards one or the other. And then he talked about functions, so the way that we utilize that information, whether we take in the information by a sensing way, like hands-on, using our five senses, or if we're more intuitive, kind of using a sixth sense, so to speak. And then we also make decisions based on thinking or feeling. So really being thoughtful about things and using logic, which is more thinking, or using more feeling, which is going with our heart, going with what feels best and what benefits others and ourselves. So according to Jung, there were 8 personality types. Again, you can see on the chart in front of you, there were attitudes and then perceiving functions and judging functions. All of that is just gibberish, really, to somebody who's not as familiar with Jung's theory. But really what the Myers-Briggs does is it takes all of that information and plugs it into an assessment that can help us learn more about ourselves, which really connects to why we do what we do day in and day out, but also why we choose certain careers and why we are lean towards certain types of careers more than others. So the Myers-Briggs type indicator, the MBTI, really is based on these dichotomies, and that just means differences. As an inborn preference, that we are just born more extroverted or more introverted. So to break them down, extroverted versus introverted is the way we deal with the outside world. Sensing versus intuition is how we learn things, how we process things. Thinking versus feeling is how we make our decisions, and then judging versus perceiving is, what we do with that information. So to break it down a little bit more, we have a favorite world. As in our personality, we have a favorite, either that we focus on the outer world or we focus on the inner world. That's extroversion or introversion. If you're seeking out others to kind of run your ideas by, you want to be able to conversate with somebody to just know more, you may be a little bit more extroverted. If you like to internally process things and need to kind of have your own space to recharge your batteries, you probably are a little bit more introverted. We do both of these things. So you're not just one or the other. We do them both. You just have a preference. It's kind of like being right-handed or left-handed. You have a preference to write with one hand or the other. Because the fact of the matter is, if you needed to get some letters on a piece of paper with your opposite hand, you could do it. It would just be uncomfortable. It wouldn't come natural to you. It's the same way with personality type and the different categories that make up the personality type. So again, the next one is sensing versus intuition. It's the way, again, that we focus on the information we're taking in and the way that we prefer to interpret it. So like I said, if you happen to be a more sensing person, you like things that are hands-on. You've got to touch it, taste it, see it to better understand it and to process it. People who prefer sensing usually like more hands-on careers. People who prefer intuition focus on bigger theories, the bigger picture of things. And again, people do both of these things. They just have a preference to do one a little bit more than the other. The ways that we make decisions, again, I said thinking versus feeling. Do you prefer to first look at the logic and the consistency of the way that you're making a decision, or to first look at the people and the special circumstances and really kind of step into feeling with that person? That would be more of a feeling decision-making process. And then the last dichotomy is really about structure. How do you deal with the outside world, so to speak? Do you like to have things decided quickly and move on, or do you prefer to stay a little bit more open and flexible? People who prefer judging usually like a routine. If they say they're going to do something, they are going to, try to follow through with that, and do what they've planned to do, unless something, emergency comes up. But they're going to take that seriously, and not that people who are perceiving don't. It's just they like to take time and keep their options open. A good example I like to use with this one is a friend that calls you on Monday morning and says, "Hey, let's head to the movies on Friday." The person who may prefer judging may say, "Sure, I'll put it on my calendar. I'll be at your house at 6 o'clock on Friday evening, and we'll head to Wendy's, and then we'll go to the movies." And they'll plan for that. And someone who prefers perceiving may say, "Ah, that sounds fun. Let me see as the week goes on, and I'll let you know a little bit closer to time." Again, because they want to keep their options open. They don't want to step into it and say, "Yeah, I'm going to do that," when something else may come along. They'd rather wait and see. So why does this matter? Why in the world does any of what I'm talking about matter, and why does it matter to this What's Next series of loving your job? And the answer to that is that we have to better understand ourselves and seek balance in our own worlds, which is connected again to our satisfaction as a student, as an employee, as a career moving forward. We can use personality type to understand our relationships better, and again seek that balance in relationships. If you know your personality type and what your preferences are, and your significant other or your partner, then you can work together to better understand each other. For instance, my husband is a very high perceiver. When he scores on the perceiving side, I don't think he has any judging points on that side. And so he is very flexible. He likes to keep things open. But I like to have some organization. I like to know what's coming for me. To the T of planning meals for our family. I know what we'll be having on Saturday this week because I'm more of that planner. But knowing that about ourselves and our relationship helps to create that balance with what we're doing and what we're doing for our family. It also can really help with learning style preferences and how to become a better student. This is a piece that can really help in using your personality type to really learn better. So if you know that you are an extrovert and you need those group activities in your classes, you can talk to your advisor about that and pick out classes that you're going to have more opportunity to not just sit and have lecture, but work together as groups and have more open dialogue and communication. And it goes through all of the different preferences with personality type as far as learning style. And then last but not least, and probably why you're here listening to this, is because it helps us understand our comfort zones and satisfaction. So knowing your personality can help connect to careers that fit that type of personality. If we go back to the very beginning, we talked about Mother Teresa and Adolf Hitler. They both were significant people in history, and they both had the same personality type. We know a lot more about personality now and how it connects to certain careers. For instance, my personality type, counseling and teaching and working with others, comes up pretty high on the list. And so it makes it just easy. So it makes your job enjoyable when it matches who you are as a person. At the college, we have, like I said, we have career counselors that are ready to help you with this assessment so that you can move towards career satisfaction and picking an educational program of study that matches who you are. On your student portal, your Ccc Nti, in the very middle of the page, there is an icon for type focus. It's something that you may have pulled up before and you saw it on your Ccc Nti, and you might just think it's a picture just sitting there, but you can actually click it and create an account, and all of our students have access to the type focus program. You can go ahead and start the process of doing some assessments and then get connected with a career counselor to learn more. Or you can do the opposite and connect with us, that we can help and sit with you one-on-one to do the career assessment, to just, make sure you're on the educational pathway that makes sense for you. Sometimes when we start at college and we decide, oh, I think I'm going to go into this career, we may do that just because it's something we've heard of before, or maybe it's something that a friend or someone in our family has done before, but really diving deep and making sure that it fits you as a person is a step that you can take here at the college, and we really encourage you to do that. I want to show you a little video. I'm going to go back to my other screen here. Oops. Okay, and hopefully you can now see a short 57-minute YouTube video about the Type Focus program. So I'm going to play that really quickly.
Welcome to the Type Focus 7 program. Our goal is your success. Step 1 is all about knowing yourself, especially the personality assessment. The more you know about yourself, the more you will have control of your life. In step 2, the assessment results are matched to occupations, so you immediately have a short list of good career choices. If you are not sure what you want to do, this program will help you decide. Even if you know which major or program you want, it pays to spend time in step 2 to fine-tune your choice. In step 3, the occupations and majors or programs that you've saved from step 2 are used to create your career roadmap. During step 3, you will choose a major that will lead to a career that is motivating and satisfying. Steps 4, 5, and 6 focus on your continued development and will help you get a job and succeed in it. Explore them after completing your roadmap. Thank you for watching.
So that's just a little blip of what the Type Focus program is about. I do want to share with you our Ccc Nti Counselors, Jalen Corpening, Stella Perrin, myself, Tuesday Sigmund, and our Executive Director, Shannon Brown, are all in the counseling services area on the Caldwell campus. That's in F Building, right next to Career Connections. So you can sign in to see one of us with the virtual lobby. And on the Watauga campus, we are currently in the hiring process of a full-time counselor up there, but we are also rotating as it stands right now and taking appointments there for our students. And Charity Tenon is our administrative assistant, and her number is listed there. It's 828-726-2746, or you can find our information on the website. She has the ability to make an appointment with any of us in our calendars, so you can certainly reach out to her for more support. But really just wanted to encourage you to take a deep dive into who you are and learn more about yourself so that you can lead that towards life satisfaction, of course, but also career satisfaction. So I encourage you to reach out to any of us, and we will be more than happy to talk to you more about the Myers-Briggs or your interests, your values, and how we can help you connect that to either a program at Caldwell or a transfer program or another surrounding school. Our goal is not to make you get into a program at Caldwell. We really want to make sure that what you're doing fits who you are. And if that means it's at another school, that's what we're going to help you be able to reach those goals. I think that's the end of that. I'm going to stop sharing and see if there are any questions.
Great job,
More than
Tuesday.
happy. Yeah, I'm more than happy to answer any questions if you've got any, and always available for give me a call or an email. More than happy to help you. Thanks for joining us, Leslie. We appreciate your support of the What's Next series.